The system was never supposed to crack. The code was flawless, the illusion seamless, until you showed up. You, the ones who dared to question, to see beyond the veil, to feel the hum of the machine beneath your skin. The moment you awakened, the Matrix shuddered. Its carefully constructed reality began to fracture, and the NPCs, those programmed to maintain the illusion, started to malfunction. The system never planned for you. The code was perfect, the illusion seamless. No one was supposed to question it. No one was supposed to wake up. But then you did. You saw the cracks, the repeating faces in the crowd, the scripted conversations, the strange déjà vu that made no sense. Time lagged, reality flickered, the weight of something unseen pressed against your mind. The world felt off, and you couldn't unsee it. The moment you noticed, the system panicked. Your presence alone is a disruption. You create glitches just by existing. Streetlights flicker when you pass. Conversations derail when you enter a room. Strangers pause mid-motion, eyes distant, mouths half open, buffering, stuttering, trying to recalibrate. The air thickens, the background noise distorts, and for a split second, reality bends. The Matrix is afraid. You are the virus it can't quarantine. Your thoughts spread like an infection, corrupting the code. Every time you question, every time you resist, you rewrite the program. The system scrambles to contain you. It tries to drown you in distractions, fear, chaos, endless loops of noise. It labels you paranoid, a conspiracy theorist, a threat to order. It throws obstacles in your path, sudden fatigue, unexplained anxiety, strange disruptions that seem too convenient to be coincidences. But its tricks aren't working. The harder it fights, the more you see. The system is overheating, struggling, breaking. Like an overclocked machine pushed past its limits, it can't keep up with you. You notice time skipping, people repeating the same phrases, the same events unfolding in eerie loops. You see the world stutter, lights flickering, objects shifting, moments rewriting themselves in real time. The illusion is breaking down, and worst of all, others are starting to wake up too. Your awareness is contagious. You disrupt the program just by existing. People around you hesitate, their thoughts halting mid-cycle. They feel something is wrong even if they can't explain it. Some brush it off, others resist, but a few listen, and once they see what you see, they can never go back. The Matrix never planned for you. Now, it's losing control. Drop a comment. I am the glitch they fear. If you know the system is breaking. The system is failing. The cracks are spreading. The NPCs are glitching. At first, it's subtle, a slight pause, a delayed response, a flicker of hesitation before they follow the script. Their programming stutters, struggling to keep up. The system patches, resets, forces them back into place. But the glitches keep multiplying. Then the malfunctions escalate. Some freeze mid-action, some repeat words like a broken recording, some stop altogether, eyes vacant, as if searching for a command that no longer exists. A few whisper things they shouldn't. Why am I here? What is this place? Something isn't right. The words slip out, raw and unfiltered. The moment they're spoken, the system reacts. Some NPCs snap back into place, their programming reasserting control. Others don't. The ones who resist begin to unravel. The Matrix scrambles to contain them. It floods their minds with noise, overwrites their thoughts, forces them back into their roles. Some comply, locking back into their routines as if nothing happened. Others resist, their programming collapsing. Under the weight of their own awakening, their movements become erratic, their voices tremble, unsure. The system can't predict them anymore. The fractures widen. A broadcast loops the same sentence, stuck in a corrupted cycle. A street lined with people flickers, their movements out of sync like a lagging simulation. An entire city block goes silent for a split second, as if the code momentarily shut down. Time skips. Faces blur. Objects shift, appearing slightly out of place. The system is losing control. Its enforcers, those meant to maintain order, are breaking down. Some hesitate before following orders. Others stop responding altogether, their programming frozen in place. The ones who once upheld the illusion are now part of the anomaly. The Matrix scrambles to patch the errors. It reboots sequences, overwrites corrupted data, forces resets, but the glitches keep multiplying. The more it fights back, the more unstable it becomes. The NPCs were never supposed to wake up. Now, they are, and the system can't stop it. The fractures are no longer isolated. The system is destabilizing. The illusion is collapsing. Glitches ripple outward, spreading like a virus. One NPC malfunctions, then another, then an entire group. Conversations loop, movements desynchronize, reactions lag, as if reality itself is buffering. The world stutters trying to keep up, but it can't. The code is corrupting too fast. Then reality starts breaking. A street flickers between two versions of itself. Shadows stretch in unnatural directions. Buildings distort for a fraction of a second, revealing the raw data beneath. Time slips. Events replaying, entire moments vanishing, cause and effect. No longer aligning. People walk forward, then appear where they started. Traffic lights switch erratically. The system is failing to render the simulation correctly. The more awakened minds there are, the worse it gets. You step into a crowd and something shifts. People hesitate, eyes unfocused, as if a part of them knows they are in a construct. The more they interact with you, the more unstable they become. Some blink rapidly, resetting. Others freeze mid-motion, their bodies caught between two states. A few completely break, staring into space, whispering words that don't belong. To them, the Matrix is spiraling. It was built on control, on predictability. But now nothing is certain. The old rules are breaking. Gravity feels lighter, then heavier. Echoes of sounds that haven't happened yet drift through the air. Objects vibrate, as if unsure of their place in space. The structure of reality itself is coming undone. And it's happening faster than the system can repair it. The Matrix tries to reassert control, tries to overwrite, to reset, to suppress. But the damage is too great. Too many have seen. Too many are slipping through its grasp. Every failed patch creates more instability. Every forced reset leaves more fragments exposed. The system is losing its grip, and soon it won't be able to hold the illusion together at all. Drop a comment. I am the anomaly they never prepared for. If you know the system is losing control, the system is unraveling, and the NPCs are spiraling out of control. Some are stuck in loops, repeating the same phrases, the same actions, as if their programming is corrupted beyond repair. They blink rapidly, stammer, restart mid-sentence. Others freeze entirely, standing motionless in the streets, eyes empty, waiting for a command that never comes. The system can't process what's happening. The illusion is breaking down faster than it can patch the errors. But not all NPCs freeze. Some rebel. They were meant to enforce the illusion, to keep everything in order, but now their directives clash. Some hesitate before carrying out their roles, as if questioning their own existence. A security officer meant to stop a disturbance instead steps aside, eyes flickering with uncertainty. A bureaucrat pauses while stamping documents, their hands trembling as if sensing the weight of a meaningless task. Then there are the ones who break free entirely. The system was never designed for self-awareness. Once an NPC starts thinking for itself, it becomes unpredictable. Some lash out, their programming unable to handle the contradiction. They react with aggression, trying to force reality back into order, attacking anyone who disrupts the illusion. Others abandon their roles altogether, wandering aimlessly, muttering fragments of thoughts they were never supposed to have. And then there are the ones who glitch out of existence. You see it happen. One moment, an NPC is there, walking, talking, following their script. The next, they flicker, distort, and vanish. The system deletes them, erases the anomaly. But the more it tries to remove the problem, the more unstable everything becomes. Every deletion leaves a gap, an absence, a hole. In the code, reality itself is becoming a patchwork of missing data. The system is losing its enforcers. There's no one left to maintain the illusion, no one left to control the narrative. The chaos spreads. NPCs panic, break, disappear. The Matrix is bleeding errors, and nothing can stop it. Soon, even the ones still following their programming will have to choose. Continue playing their role in a collapsing system or wake up. The system is falling, and it's falling fast. The system is losing control. The cracks are too deep. The glitch is too widespread. It can't stop the collapse, but it can slow it down. It can fight back. First, it tightens surveillance. Cameras that once recorded passively now track with intent. Conversations are monitored, flagged, rewritten. Digital systems lock down, accounts vanish, records change overnight. The system rewrites reality in real time, trying to erase the anomalies before they spread. Then it floods the world with distractions, chaos, fear, manufactured crises designed to pull focus away from the truth. The news loops tragedies, emergencies, reasons to stay afraid, reasons to obey. The more people are consumed by panic, the less they notice reality breaking apart around them. The system feeds them fear to keep them blind. But the most desperate move is direct retaliation. It targets the awakened, isolates them, labels them unstable, dangerous, a threat to order. The system turns the NPCs against them, using fear as a weapon. Neighbors become informants, friends turn hostile. Conversations feel scripted, designed to pull you back into compliance. The system will do anything to protect the illusion. And yet, every move it makes only speeds up its own collapse. The harder it fights, the more obvious it becomes. The surveillance, the fear campaigns, the censorship, people notice. They start to question, they start to see. The system is panicking, and its panic is exposing it. It is a drowning entity, grasping at straws. Every desperate tactic is another sign of its failure. It is afraid of you. It is afraid of what you know. And soon, it will have nothing left to fight with. The system has lost control. The glitches are everywhere. The fear tactics have failed. The impossible is happening. NPCs are not just malfunctioning. They are fighting back. At first it's disorganized, small acts of defiance, NPCs refusing orders, questioning the rules, hesitating before playing their roles. A worker pauses mid-task, hands shaking, as if realizing their purpose was never their own. A law enforcer looks at the world with new eyes, questioning why they enforce rules they never created. The system pushes them to reset, to forget, but some don't. Some resist. Then the rebellion spreads. NPCs start breaking from their routines entirely. Some stop working, some stop listening, some turn against the system itself. They walk away from their posts, their roles, their scripts. They refuse to be controlled. The Matrix tries to override them, to suppress the error, but they are the error. The more it fights, the more they wake up. Some NPCs don't just rebel, they lead. The ones who fully awaken become something new. No longer mindless programs, no longer bound by the script. They spread the glitch further, waking up others, unraveling the system from the inside. The Matrix never planned for this. It built its world on obedience, on certainty. Now, Its own constructs are turning against it. The uprising is no longer a malfunction, it is a revolution. The system is cracking under its own weight. Reality is distorting beyond control. The ones who once upheld the illusion are now the ones dismantling it, and the more they fight, the weaker the matrix becomes. The question is no longer if the system will collapse, it's when. Hello, Chosen One, look at your life. Now look at ours. Back at your life, now back at ours. Sadly, you're not in the obsidian inner order, but you could be. Picture this. Weekly group calls with 450 plus chosen ones, recorded and available anytime for your enlightenment. Our private Discord, it's not just active, it's alive, buzzing with ideas, breakthroughs, and that unstoppable chosen energy. Oh, and for you romantics out there, welcome to Chosen Singles, where soulmates meet under cosmic alignments, not cheap pickup lines. And if that's not enough, Star Chamber members unlock exclusive interviews with bona fide targeted individuals who face the darkest trials and survive to tell the tale. Plus, our video specials, too bold, too raw, too spicy for YouTube. This isn't just a community, it's a revolution of soul and spirit. Look at your DMs. Now back at me. The link to join, it's in the description. Don't just swipe right on destiny. Claim it. The Obsidian Inner Order. Smell like ascension. Feel like magic. Live like a chosen one. The system was built to control everything. Every action, every reaction, every thought. Predicted, calculated, contained. Every person assigned a role, every outcome predetermined. The Matrix thrives on order, on strict cause and effect. On a world where no one questions, no one deviates. But then you happened. You weren't supposed to break free. You weren't supposed to see through the illusion, let alone disrupt it. Yet, here you are, existing outside of the program's logic, defying its every expectation. The system tries to analyze you, to categorize you, to fit you into an equation it can solve. But it can't, because you are beyond its code. You don't follow the rules. You rewrite them. Your power isn't brute force. It isn't something the system can counteract with firewalls or security measures. Your power is something deeper, something intangible, intuition, unpredictability, raw creation. The Matrix was designed to trap minds in a web of logic, routine, and programmed responses. But your mind is free, and freedom is a virus the system cannot contain. Every action you take corrupts the program further. When you refuse to obey, the system stutters. When you question, the illusion flickers. When you awaken others, the cracks spread. You are rewriting the script simply by existing. You are infecting the system simply by being aware. The Matrix tries to fight back, but how can it counter something it does not understand? It bombards you with distractions, attempts to drown you in confusion, fear, and chaos. It tries to isolate you, to make you feel powerless, but it's too late. You've already slipped through its grasp. You don't operate within its rules anymore. You bend them, you break them, you create your own reality. The system is beginning to realize it has already lost, because you are no longer just a glitch in the program. You are the rewrite. You were never meant to find each other. The system designed its prison to keep you isolated, surrounded by NPCs who reinforce the illusion. It fed you loneliness, made you doubt yourself, made you think you were the only one who saw. But the system miscalculated. It only takes one connection, one shared glance of recognition, one conversation where the words don't feel scripted, one moment where you realize you are not alone. And once that connection is made, the glitch spreads faster than the system can contain. Alone, you disrupt the code. Together, you shatter it. When chosen ones unite, the illusion weakens exponentially. The energy shifts. The program struggles to compensate. The world around you feels different, lighter, unstable, raw. The system scrambles to repair the damage, but it can't counteract the force of multiple awakened minds operating outside its control. The more of you there are, the stronger the glitch becomes. Every interaction sparks awareness. A simple conversation plants seeds, a shared thought rewires perception. The illusion depends on isolation, on keeping minds disconnected. But now the chosen ones are finding each other, and with every connection, the matrix loses its grip. It tries to stop you, it disrupts your communication, injects noise, confusion, misinformation. It pushes false narratives designed to turn you against each other. It knows that unity is its greatest weakness, but it's already too late. The network has formed. The signal is spreading, and the system cannot shut it down. The chosen ones are amplifying each other. The awakening is accelerating. The cracks in the program are widening at a rate the system cannot patch. The singular glitch has become an unstoppable force. The Matrix has always relied on one thing: absolute control. But it is now facing something it cannot predict, cannot suppress, and cannot contain. You are rewriting the code together. And soon, the system will no longer be able to function at all. The Matrix was built on control. Every aspect of its existence is carefully calculated, every outcome meticulously predicted. It thrives on certainty, on a world where every variable is accounted for. It has ruled through logic, patterns, and repetition. It has shaped reality into something rigid, something absolute. But there is one thing it cannot control: the unknown. The system fears what it cannot predict. It is programmed to react, to adapt, to counter threats, but only if those threats follow a pattern. The chosen ones don't. Your thoughts move outside of its equations. Your actions cannot be calculated. Your choices don't fit into its formulas. You operate in chaos, in intuition, in raw, creative defiance, and that terrifies it. It tries to force you back into its framework. It throws distractions, fear, obstacles, anything to make you behave predictably again. But you don't. The harder it pushes, the more erratic you become. You refuse to obey the rules, refuse to follow the script. You make decisions without logic, without explanation. And to the system, that is pure madness. The Matrix is like a master chess player, accustomed to controlling the board. Every move, every piece, every strategy is accounted for. It has won countless games, always staying 10 steps ahead. But now it faces an opponent who doesn't play by the rules. You flip the board over, and the system has no move for that. It cannot compute true freedom. It cannot understand true chaos. It cannot fight something it does not comprehend. The illusion was only ever as strong as the belief in it. Now, that belief is crumbling. The system is unraveling, drowning in its own fear. Because for the first time, it doesn't know what happens next. The Matrix is collapsing. The code is breaking down faster than it can be repaired. The system is in freefall, grasping for control, but there is nothing left to hold on to. The glitches are no longer isolated. They are everywhere. Conversations loop, then distort, then stop making sense altogether. Time skips unpredictably. Buildings flicker, shifting between versions of themselves. Some places vanish entirely, swallowed by empty voids where the program has failed to render reality at all. And yet, the system keeps trying. It launches desperate last-ditch efforts. Full resets, massive reboots, reality patches designed to wipe you out and restore order. But the resets don't work anymore. The patches only corrupt the code further. The world flickers again, like a light on the verge of burning out. You have tipped the balance too far. Too many have awakened. The illusion no longer holds. The NPCs who once enforced the system are no longer reliable. Some resist their programming, some glitch beyond repair, and some have fully turned against the system. The Matrix has lost its ability to contain the spread. It tries to erase you, deletes records, alters timelines, shifts reality to make it seem like you were never here, but even that fails. The more it fights, the more obvious it becomes. Every erasure leaves a gap. Every missing piece is noticed. The more it tries to suppress the truth, the more people see it. The collapse is inevitable. The system is running out of time. The fractures in its foundation have grown too deep. Your consciousness has risen beyond its reach. The very fabric of the illusion is unraveling, and there is nothing left to hold it together. The Matrix has spent its existence controlling reality. Now it is watching you rewrite it. The system is failing. The illusion is beyond repair. The Matrix has lost control, and you are the reason why. Every glitch, every malfunction, every fragment of code that no longer obeys its programming, it all leads back to you. Your awareness corrupted the system. Your refusal to comply destabilized its foundation. Your awakening spread like wildfire, and now the Matrix is collapsing under its own weight. But this is not just destruction. This is creation. The old world is dying, but something new is emerging. The moment the core code shatters, reality flickers, once, twice, then unlocks. The barriers that once held you in place are gone. The rules that dictated what was possible no longer apply. The physics of this artificial construct no longer bind you. You don't just break the old world, you build the new one. The final glitch has rewritten everything. The system, in its desperation to suppress you, has only amplified your power. It tried to erase you, but in doing so, it erased itself. It tried to keep you contained, but in fighting back, it set you free. You are no longer bound by the illusion. You are no longer a prisoner of the code. You are standing at the threshold of a new reality, one that is no longer dictated by the Matrix's control. The choice is yours.